So to the chairman, you're gonna have to fire me, mates. Massive back-to-back errors for Kobe. And we're 2-0 down. Hey my people, how you doing? I hope you're having a smashing goddamn day. Welcome back to the Brom Squad Gaming Tactical Manchester United Career Mode. And I would just like to say, before we get on into this incredible episode that I'm about to produce for you guys, I would just like to apologize for missing out the last week, or maybe it was the last 2 weeks of not uploading the career mode. There was a person who was like, where's the next episode? And I was like, I'm so sorry, my dude. I'm going to try my very best to sit down and give you guys the ultimate content that you deserve. Now, obviously, I've been very busy with tactics and Patreon videos and all that stuff over these last 2 weeks, which has allowed me to not have as much time to sit down and dedicate a solid 2 to 3 hours of my time for this career mode. And I think this career mode, because we want it to be the very best, it deserves my full attention. So that's why I did not upload these last 2 episodes over like the last 2 weeks. But I'm here to tell you that the transfer window opens up in 29 days. Now, in the last episode, I did ask for your thoughts and opinions and suggestions of who I should maybe sign for that central midfield role, as well as the left back. Now, I do have a conclusive decision for both positions, which I will be letting you guys know soon enough. But I just wanted to show you the month of December. There are 7 games in this month of December, and 4 of those games will be played in this episode, with 3 of them being simulated. Now, my first thoughts and opinions were we have to play Wolves at least in one of those 2 games. But then I looked at the full schedule. We've got Bournemouth, we've got Spurs, we've got Villa, we've got Newcastle, and then we've got the likes of West Ham as well as Wolverhampton Wanderers twice. My immediate reaction is we should probably sim West Ham at home and Wolves away to start off the month. So those 2 games will definitely be simulated. We'll then kick off the episode versus Bournemouth at home. Semenyo is going to be up for it. It's a little audition to see if, we want him in the team maybe for next season. I know he is hot property at the moment, linked with the move to Arsenal, linked with the move to Liverpool, linked with the move to Chelsea United. Everybody wants Antoine Semenyo, so we're going to see what he's all about. We then kick off a game at home, at least, versus Spurs in the EFL Cup. I think it's the quarterfinals, because the semi-finals normally take place in January, which is quite literally next month, and then the final takes place in February or March. So potentially a quarterfinal game versus Spurs at home. At least we have the home ground advantage. There we go. I've been watching far too much basketball. And then a few days after that, a few days removed, which does mean that we are going to have to rotate quite a lot here. But a few days after that, 2 to be precise, 3 if you're talking about the game day, we have an away game versus Villa, which is going to be very tough. And then the following week, we have a home game at least versus Newcastle, and then we end off the month of December and head into the new year with a home game to Wolverhampton Wanderers, which I am going to sim. Now, what I would say is, depending on how the other results go, if we are beating, for instance, if we're beating Bournemouth 5-0 in the first half, I'm going to simulate the rest of that game, because there's no way in hell I'm playing the entirety of that game. So if we do have a result like that does allow me to have a bit more time, I will add in that last game, the Wolves game at home, and I will definitely play it. I also wanted to say this before I show you guys the transfers and who we're going to be signing and all that. There have been 2 major updates for FC 26 since the last time I played this career mode, meaning that obviously the slight little tweaks and adjustments I made to the sliders to make it more difficult, they might actually make the game a lot harder, which I'm going to keep for the time being, because obviously you guys want to see me at least struggle a little bit, because we've been perfect so far, and I'm going to leave it like that for this episode. If it's still really bad, I will tweak it and change just a little bit as things go on and for the next episode. Anyways, let me show you guys who we will be signing in the January window. Okay, so you guys have spoken and I have answered. It was between James Garner and Engels. I really wanted Engels because I thought, that height, that physicality, the fact that he is also from Belgium, that would add a lot to the squad and the dynamic that we do have. But I also really like James Garner. 1, because he's a former United prospect, and 2, he is English, which does add to the little bit of a English core that we are kind of trying to build, but it's not the main focus of it. But I do like the idea of potentially bringing him back, and so did some of you guys. So we are going to try and bring him back, depending on how Everton see the potential move happening. I don't want to overpay for him, because if we overpay, that's not allowed. He's obviously a key player for Everton, who are battling relegation as things stand. So it will be very difficult trying to negotiate, but maybe because they are battling relegation, he might want to not jump ship, because I think that's such a horrible thing to say, but he might want to return to his boyhood club. And then for the left back role, we have gone for Oosterwolde. I still don't know how to pronounce his name, people. However, we're going to have to learn soon enough because he is 6'4". He's got some massive recovery pace, and I'm going to sign him as the mainstay left back for the team. Obviously, Luke Shaw's heading out. We've got a bunch of other players going out on loan. So these are the two signings that we're going to target and we're going to try and make aggressive moves for in the January window. So yes, I hope you guys like it. They're going to make massive impacts for the foreseeable future of this career mode. And of course, I'm always open to other suggestions. Let me know down below in the comment section who you would like to maybe see later on in this career mode. Maybe a Stiller, maybe a Belabor, maybe a Anderson from Nottingham Forest. Maybe we might. Of course, the midfield does need a bit of heart surgery going on in it, but this is the start of that heart surgery, and then this is just improving the backline ever so slightly. Okay, so hopping on into the West Ham game. They sit 16th in the Premier League table. Out of their last 5 games, they've lost 4 and drawn 1. We are playing at home. I am going to go full strength for it because we are going to obviously simulate the game. But for the time being, they're playing a 5-2-1-2. I'm not too sure if this is Nuno or if this is still Graham Potter. It might actually just be Graham Potter still. And they will be using a kick and rush sort of approach. Now, their key defensive players are Hermansen, of course, the goalkeeper, who has made countless errors this season, which I've been quite shocked with because I wouldn't say I'm a massive fan of Hermansen, but I do believe that he does have a lot of quality. He does have the technical abilities to be able to play in a high-quality team and really establish himself as a modern ball-playing goalkeeper. And I'm surprised that he has struggled so much. But they've also got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, of course, a former United player himself, and Todibo, a player who's also struggled quite a lot at West Ham, although recently he's come into some good form. He's been a very good defensive player. But the key attacker that we all know is going to be Jared Bowen. So locking him up will be absolutely essential. Now, before I do simulate this game, it's going to be a quick sim. We're not going to go ifs, buts, or maybes. I was thinking of changing the formation slightly. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, but I was thinking of maybe going with a 4-2-3-1, but not just any 4-2-3-1, not just a 4-2-3-1 wide, a 4-2-3-1 narrow, because I want a lot of fluidity in that midfield trio behind the striker, having a lot of movement behind him, and having, of course, Sesko or whoever the striker is up front being the main threat in goal. So there is that in my head. I'm trying to play around with it, potentially with James Garner coming in. We have another DM, Casemiro and Mainu sitting at the base of it. I just think it works out quite well. But that is the team we're going to go with. Of course, there are a few players like Mainu and Casemiro. We were just speaking about them. They're not fully fit, but they should be good to go. Tell me we win. Tell me we win. We draw. We drop points, by the way, for the first time this season. That does not bode well for this episode. We also did not dominate possession. 6 shots each, 3 clearances from us, 5 from them. So maybe we were peppering their goal just a little bit, but not the greatest. Not the greatest at all. On to the Wolves game, and hopefully we can pick up a result there. Okay, so before the Wolverhampton Wanderers game, Lisandro Martinez, he's approached and he said, I want a new contract. My agency's looking to reach out. We want to try and negotiate something. Now, he's a player who's just come back from a major injury. However, I do highly rate Lisandro Martinez. So potentially negotiating a deal with him might not be a bad idea. Because, of course, if we can tie him down to the long-term future of this project, it just makes a whole lot of sense, and we're going to hop on into the negotiations. We're in the office space. We're not treating him out to a little lunch or a little meal or a bit of cake. Of course, we're in the nitty-gritty bits of the December period where you need to be on it. You need to be on top of your fitness, your eating, your diet, all of it. It needs to be done. It needs to be handled. Now, I'm going to make him a rotational player. I'm pretty sure he's going to reject that and want an important player. Of course he does. Of course he does. But anyways, he will be an important player. I just need that overall to go back up because normally it's sitting at around 82 or 83. It's now sitting at 80 because he is coming back from that injury. However, now we've got the important role of giving him an extension. 3 years is probably going to be negotiated down to 1, but then we're going to renegotiate that and say 2 years, mates, because we want you for the long term. I think Lisandro Martinez could be a future captain. He obviously needs to stay healthy, however. If he doesn't stay healthy, there's no captain material involved. No release clause needed. The Premier League, we don't require the release clause. This is not Spain. This is not Italy, although in Spain it's more of a, it has to have, like, be in the contract. Now, he is on 77 grand a week. We're going to give him a little bit of a pay rise with a little bit of a sweetener to go alongside it of double your salary. If you, my maths is terrible. It was supposed to be 160 grand. I've made it 180. That means you're going to sign the dotted line. Oh my goodness gracious me. He's asking for lots of money, but it's fine. We have the money. We do have the money. We're going to get Lisandro Martinez signed to the long-term future of this project. And I see my clothes have got holes in it because my white t-shirt is poking through my blazer. You would think working for Man United, they would pay me more money to buy more clothes. But there we go. Lisandro Martinez, he's got a -1. Obviously, again, just coming back from that injury. We've secured the long-term foundations of our back line, of our back four. As for Wolverhampton Wanderers, they are a team who are also playing a back five formation, a 5-2-3. They've got wingers instead of that two-man combo up front that West Ham were deploying. So our midfield game should definitely look to try and overload theirs. And I've also just realized West Ham, who had won 0 out of their last 5, picked up 1 point in their last 5. They ended up picking up another point versus Man United at Old Trafford. That is outrageous. Anyways, as for Wolves, they sit 13th in the Premier League, which is obviously a lot better than what West Ham were. They were sitting 16th. They've won 2 out of their last 5 and lost the other 3. They've got a decent team, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, Strand Larsen is a very good striker on his day. If he gets the opportunities, he's going to tuck them away. The key defensive players, however, are Hoover. I'm pretty sure it's Kian Hoover. That's how you pronounce his name. Doherty, and then Jose Sarr. I'm finding it very frustrating that they're including the goalkeeper as a key defensive player every single time. It shouldn't be like that. I can understand that for Everton, Jordan Pickford, he makes massive saves. But Jose Sarr being a key defensive player, unless you're just thinking, oh, he's facing shots, he needs to make saves. Of course he needs to make saves. He's the goddamn goalkeeper. The key attacking player is Arias from that left-hand side. He could also be deployed down the right. And their approach, very much like West Ham's, is also a kick and rush. We are going to make a few changes because that performance versus West Ham was just not good enough. Rightio. So, off the bat, Mason Money Mounts. He's going to come in for Casemiro. Ugarte is going to... No, I still can't start Ugarte over Mainu. Mainu's going to have to improve his fitness, please. And then, you know what? I'm going to go with... So, Mountain for Casemiro. Dallo in for, of course, Patrick Dorgu. And then Martinez gets his first start. I can't actually remember. Did he start a game in the last episode? I don't think I would have made him start because he'd just come back. But this could be his first start. Now, of course, we are going to edit a few of the tactical displays. I think that's what you would say, the tactical display. We're going to make Mason Money Mount a roaming playmaker, which is fine. Dallo as a wingback, that's perfect. And then that's fine as well for Lisandro Martinez. I don't want to have him on aggressive when I'm not using him because I just think that could be very bad. That could be very, very bad. So those are the changes that we are going to make. Of course, we are going to simulate the game. We will be playing in black. They'll be playing in yellow. And tell me it's a win, please. 2-0. Bing, bang, boom. We've got Mbeumo and we've got Bruno Fernandes, the captain and the other star player of the team, Brian Mbeumo, tucking it home, 56% possession to their 44. So even then, the more direct approach is still coming into play. We're not super focused on just maintaining the ball for the sake of it. We had 7 shots, they had 3, they had 1 chance cleared, and we had 5 chances cleared. Now, I'm not too sure how those clearances work. Is it they cleared the ball 5 times against us, which means that it's 5 chances... Sorry, I'm so stupid. 5 chances created. I'm thinking of clearances. Oh my god. Anyway, we had 5 chances. We scored 2 goals. They had 1 chance. We kept a clean sheet. That is how it works out. There we go. I had a little bit of a brain wobble there. But now we're going to hop on into our first official game versus Bournemouth at Old Trafford. I am shameless with my celebrations. I have rated Lemons for a very long time, even before he joined United. This is the baby Courtois. I know it's become a bit of a cliche thing to say these days because everybody's hopping onto that bandwagon, but I was one of the first people to say it. That's right. We're going to downplay Sesko's performances. He has been incredible, especially in this timeline. I mean, in real life, he did go down with an injury to Spurs, which is quite sad. I hope it's not a long-term injury because that would just crush my soul. But in this timeline, Sesko is bagging goals, and Cunha, that is my Brazilian magician, and he is feeling he's feeling, you know, not complacent. He's just feeling very confident, and a confident Brazilian is a danger to the opposition. Now, speaking of Bournemouth, they are undefeated in their last 5. A win, a draw, a win, a draw, and a win. So they're set to draw versus United at Old Trafford. That's just what it seems. They're going to be playing a 4-2-3-1, a very similar formation to what I'm still envisioning. Maybe after this game, we'll make that tactical switch. However, for the time being, they're going to be playing a counter-attacking approach. So they're going to sit deep, compress the space, make sure that's very difficult for us to try and play through that potential 2 banks of 4 sort of block. And then once they win the ball back, once they, nick it away from one of our players, once one of our players makes a mistake, bang, straight down the line to Semenyo, who is their key attacking player, and their key defensive player is Adams, also playing in midfield, so their midfield is the danger area. This is going to be a fun game. Very much vertical sort of football, long transitions, quick transitions, long balls over the top. We're going to try and play into that just a little bit, so we are going to make a few tactical changes. Before I get into the tactics, everybody is fully fit. However, we're going to continue to start Lisandro Martinez. Lenny Yoro, it might be tough for you, buddy. It might be tough, but you're the third choice centre-back. So I wouldn't be too disheartened with the fact that you are the third choice centre-back. Anyhow, what I would like is, Dorgu, you're going to stay a bit back, mate, and you're not going to defend, you're just going to be versatile, especially for those potential counter-attacks. We can still get the fullbacks involved higher up the field with those little 1-2 passes, encouraging them to make those runs forward, but we don't want them being too high for potentially Semenyo to exploit or expose, and we need to try and keep this back four very much intact. What I am also going to do is I'm going to assert the aggressiveness of Lisandro Martinez on the front line of Bournemouth. Otherwise, I'm thinking that is going to be that. Cunha is going to be as the more attacking wide player, with Mbeumo being the balanced inside forward. That's fine for him. Sesko as the versatile poacher. That's great. Menu as the build-up playmaker. That's fantastic. Bruno and Casemiro. That is the lineup. Those are the tweaks. Those are the settings. Nobody leak it to Andoni Iraola, please. I don't want to be shown up yet again, but we are going to hop on into our first game, and I'm very excited. It's been 2 weeks, people. It's been 2 weeks and too long, if you ask me. Alrighty, and we get to kick things off. I love this game. I love this game. Oh, and immediately off the bat, Cunha has turned the ball over. Not what I wanted, mates. Not what I wanted. Bruno looking to engage here. Wait. What is this backline? What is this backline? Where was my backline, by the way? Evan Nielsen, he must think it's Christmas. Christmas has come early, a couple of days early at this point, because he had an ocean of space just to walk into, and Kobbie Mainoo gives the ball away. Very, very tough area to give the ball away. And yeah, you're damn right you're pulling your hair out, buddy. You're damn right. Things are not so peachy at OT. And Evan Nielsen opens the scoring his 4th goal this season. Big switch play. Oh my god. Oh! That's so bad. Close down the man. Close down the man. Close down the man. Lamens makes a great save, and we are getting absolutely cooked at OT. They're already suggesting Mainoo off for Ugarte. Is Mainoo quiching that much with his poor stamina? There we go. Good defensive header, Kobbie. Good ball into Bruno. Bruno, he's found a great ball into Sesko, and Sesko, he's got a man chasing over to try and cover. Sesko, he plays it into Mbeumo. Mbeumo starts the cross, and it gets intercepted by, I think that was Marcus Sensi, I think. And Justin Kluivert, he's outrun, he's outdone, and he's outmuscled Casemiro. Oh, we almost got the interception. Look at the, I'm going to actually have to sub Matthias Select off, because he has been, oh no. Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie freaking Mainoo. Massive back-to-back errors for Kobbie. And we're 2-0 down. As a result of that, these things will not be tolerated. I'm not putting in Mbeumo as a DM. But these things cannot be tolerated. Bruno's going there. Kobbie's coming out. Ugarte is coming in for Casemiro. And Delict is off for Yoro. Those are going to be the changes. I'm baffled. 32 minutes gone by. We're 2-0 down thanks to key mistakes, key defensive errors. I'm not trying to point fingers. I would never do that. But there are certain players that they need to look at themselves in the mirror right now. Get the ball into Sesko. Sesko, he's run onto it. He's not control. What the hell? Well, at least Lisandro Martinez intercepted the ball there. Great ball into Mbeumo. Mbeumo, he's sliding it across into Cunha, and Cunha gets a goal. Okay, we're 2-1 down only. The defense looks a bit better. Lisandro Martinez, he did break up the play. Cunha gets his 8th goal in 16 appearances, which is outrageously good. But we're still down, and we're still struggling. Maybe these sliders do need to change. Maybe they do need to change. I mean, I haven't played a lot of this game since the update the other day. I played a few games, but it wasn't a lot. Maybe you might need to tweak a few things. If we take a look at the halftime stats, It is a hall of shame sort of performance. 42% possession at Old Trafford versus Bournemouth, who have absolutely, categorically battered us. Battered us. I'm there with my tactics board. People on Twitter are going crazy. How can a manager use a tactics board? I'm there saying you got to go there, you got to come here, you got to drop deep, you got to move wide. I'm not going to make changes just yet though, because we did get a goal back. We have kind of established a footing in this game. We are still 2-1 down, however, but I'm gonna let it settle just for the first 15 minutes of that second half, and then we'll make a few changes, 2 to be precise, and we'll also make a few tweaks as well. But right now, we have got to improve on all fronts: passing accuracy, movements, maintaining control and possession. I mean, Kobe Mainoo gave the ball away quite literally right in front of goal twice, and they scored from both of those errors. So, second half, we've got to be better. Now we're starting to cook. No! Sesko, I need you on side, mate. I need you on side. I need you to link up the play. I need you to hold up the ball. I don't want you to be a target man per se, but I need you doing some of that. Oh, Sesko! He's intercepted the ball, and he is in on goal. They've now made a mistake. Is it going to result in a goal? Of course it is. That is my Slovenian bazooka. 2-2. We've come back in this one. 18 goals and 16 appearances. He's been on a bit of a dry, barren spell. Didn't score versus Wolves. Didn't score versus West Ham. Can't remember if he scored versus Crystal Palace in the last game. I must say, Bournemouth, they pounced on us in that first half when we made those mistakes, and I was really starting to worry. But the changes that we did make, they've brought in some stability. They've brought in some composure. And now it's all about controlling the phases of play. Ugarte, step up, mates. I need you to step... Oh, Ugarte! We've shifted the defense, but Mazraoui, he's recovering nicely, and he's done a great job at closing down the wide threat. There we go, into Cunha. Cunha, he's going to slide the ball into Sesko. Sesko's making the run in behind, and we have come back. It's 3-2 right now, and the haters in the comment section who were enjoying that first half of absolute shit, they're now reveling in it, and it's always lovely settings. We've got the POV, and we've got the brace, the second half brace to be exact, and that does mean we are going to make some changes. I know he's been great, I know he's been good, I know he's been amazing, but he's going to come off. Xerxes on, Ahmad's on. I'm not going to make any backline changes, although Martinez, this will be his first game that he plays under me anyway, like with me controlling, where he's playing the full 90 minutes. That stamina is not looking great. Maybe I don't bring on Xerxes, you know. Maybe what I do is I bring on Harry Maguire, and then I switch Yoro to the left-hand side. You know what? That is the move. I can deal with a slightly slower, more fatigued striker up front, but in the back line, if you're defending a lead, you can't afford that to happen. So Big H is coming on. Sesko is going to stay as is. Yoro is going to obviously switch, and of course Maguire is going to be switched to a defensive role. I'm going to switch Yoro to defensive as well. As for Dorgu and Mazraoui, they're going to stay the same. Ahmad, I do like Ahmad as an inside forward. On attack though, yeah, let's have both of the wide players getting forward, making those piercing runs in behind. We could look to maybe soak up a bit more pressure in the back line and then counter with those forward players. Cunha, Ahmad, Sesko. Maybe that would be great. But might I say, by the way, Mason Money Mounts, he's been very good so far. Great ball into Ahmad. Ahmad, can he control? He does, but Sensi is there just in time to get the ball off of Ahmad's foot and clear it. Can we do the long throw here? I think not. Oh my goodness me! And Ugarte is there yet again to make another mistake. Bruno, great ball straight through the lines. Cunha slides it into Ahmad. Ahmad puts it past the goalkeeper, and now it's 4-2. And we've absolutely battered this lot in the second half. The first half, I never want to see those 45 minutes ever again in my life. The mistakes, the howlers, the errors. We looked like we were heading into the December period and we were going on holiday, let alone playing football. But Ahmad, he's there to spare our blushes. Adds the fourth goal, the cushioning second goal. And I must say, after the updates, EA have really messed up the camera angles. Ahmad's come on and he's looking... Oh my goodness me, Ahmad has come on and he's looking for a second goal. Slides it past Georgie! Is that his name? Georgie Petrovic? Either way, Ahmad's got 2 in the span of like 4 minutes. And this game looks a lot more comfortable. And there you have it, the ref has blown the whistle. Going into half-time, 2-1 down, you would be thinking it's not looking good, although the momentum had slightly shifted with that goal just before the break. But we came out the second half. We showed that champion sort of mentality. I know people don't want to say it just yet. People don't want to say United are favourites to win the title at this point, dropping points in just 1 game so far this season. But we really did have that mentality to turn the tide, use the crowd, and shift the momentum in our favour and score 4 flipping goals in the second half. Now, people, obviously after the game, we're about to head into the game versus Spurs, but I did want to implement the new system. Now, it's very risky doing it halfway through a season, but I think we might be able to pull it off. We have the personnel to do anything in this game. We have incredible talents like a Bruno Fernandes, an Mbumo, Acuna, a Sesko. But I do like this base of Casemiro and Mainu. It's a better base to work off with. And again, when the newer midfielders come in, the first being, of course, Jimmy Garner, they're going to fit in next to Mainu perfectly. Immediately off the bat, this is more or less what the shape's going to look like. Not really. I want Mazraoui as that versatile fullback. Of course, he's going to continue with that. De Ligt, I'm a bit wary about with De Ligt, you know. I'm a bit wary with him, especially after that performance versus Bournemouth. So he might not even be playing. Dorgu's going to be set on support. So basically, the back line stays the same. Of course, I've put this as aggressive because I think we all know what's going to happen soon enough. Casemiro, he will be set. Wow, he's got the center half role. Casemiro is just going to be set to he was a ball-winning box-to-box midfielder, but I'm going to have him as a roaming holding midfielder or defend. I think maybe defend. I think defend probably works better, whereas Main is going to be set to the roaming deep line playmaker. That makes a lot of sense. Bruno's going to have a free roaming role as well. Cunha, however, half winger, I like that. I want him also as a roaming playmaker, sorry, as a roaming half winger, because then he can drift across and go to the other side if needed. And that also means that Mbumo, who is also going to be transitioned into an attacking midfielder, just like how Cunha is going to be transitioned, and so will Bruno eventually. It's going to work out. Let it all work out. It's going to work out. Don't you worry. Mason Mount also will be changed to an attacking midfielder, and basically just to have these players fit into our system. So Martinez, he has regained his starting position. Lenny Yoro, he might be a bit disheartened, but with the performances of Matthias de Ligt, I wouldn't be too heartbroken, especially if he continues to embarrass me the way he did in that last game versus Bournemouth. Okay, so that is the system. I'm quite happy with it. We're going to test it out versus Tottenham, of course. With the player stamina issues, we are going to have to rotate. Xerxes going to get some minutes. Maybe we might see a bit of Luke Shaw before he departs the club and goes to Villa. Maybe we might see 1 or 2 youngsters. It does depend, however, on how well the game goes. Tottenham Hotspur. In the last 5 games they've played, they've won 4 and drawn just once. Very similar to us. 1-4, drawn just once. This will, in fact, be the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup. So both clubs will be probably fielding strong opposition teams. And we also see that I think this is the lineup based off of the last time we played Tottenham, because I do remember Van der Ven was playing as left back, Dragushin and Romero paired in the middle. And it didn't work out because Mbumo ghosted in, scored a goal past Van der Ven. Dragushin was somewhat bullied that game, if I remember correctly, by Sesko. The likes of Palhinha and Romero were very solid, very sturdy. Pedro Porro is still one of the key defensive players. He should be a key attacking player, to be fair. Kulusevski is a key attacking player, but so is Van der Ven as a key defensive player, but they'll also be playing a high pressing sort of system / approach. Thomas Frank at Old Trafford with a high pressing system. Hopefully there's a bit of rain involved. Might have a few players slipping and sliding everywhere. We are going to make several changes to the lineup. Ahmad's going to come in for Mbumo. Lamens is going to come out for Bayindir. People are already screaming. I can hear them screaming at their phones or laptop screens, or maybe even TVs. If you're watching me on the TV, big ups to you. But yes, people are screaming. People are going berserk. People are saying, what the hell are you doing? And I'm saying, it'll all work out. It'll all work out, hopefully. Those will be the changes that we make on the bench. That is the lineup that we're going to go with. Maguire, Martinez starting. Dorgu, Dalot, fullbacks. We've got an Ahmad, a Bruno, and a Cunha in the attacking tridents, with Casemiro and Mainu anchoring anchoring the midfield with Xerxes up front. I forgot, I need to actually change Xerxes. Now, I don't actually know if this system would work well with a false 9. Now, of course, Xerxes is a double false 9, making him a world-class sort of player in that role, which is great for him. Absolutely outstanding. We are going to have him on attack, though. We do need a bit more focal points, bit of presence higher up the pitch. But he's going to also drop in. He's going to assist Bruno. He's going to assist Mainu and Casemiro in the midfield. And maybe we might see a bit of Cunha and Ahmad rotating higher up, who are both double plus half wingers, which is great. It's Old Trafford versus Tottenham. Now, Tottenham have had our number in recent years. Also, there's a bit of snow on the pitch. It's not necessarily the rain I was wanting, but there is a bit of ice on the playing surface, which might make a few players slip and slide. Maybe Van de Ven doesn't get as much traction underneath his little legs whilst he runs the entirety of the pitch. Who knows? But the last few seasons, there has been a bit of a sour taste in the mouths of Man United fans as Tottenham Hotspur have absolutely claimed the games over us. They've been undefeated since like 2021, 2022 versus United. Of course, in this timeline, we beat them at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which was great. What was it, like 2-1? Maybe 2-0, I can't remember exactly. But it was a great game. Great day out for the fans. We were doing our thing, they were doing their thing. But it's all about turning the tide. Tottenham, they've been punched in the mouth. How are they going to respond? Well, hopefully not with a very strong squad and we end up winning at Old Trafford as well. That would be great. So the Tottenham Hotspur fans, you can hear them chanting, Europa League, Europa League. We won the Europa League versus you guys. And to that I say, goddamn. Goddamn. Anyways, that is our lineup right there. Very pretty, very nice. I do like the overlays. I do like the graphics for the various different competitions. I think that was part of the... Why have they messed that up? Oh wait, no, that is a correct graphic. I thought it was like the other way around. I thought that was flipped. I do like how they do differentiate these days in the newer games between the different competitions. Back in the day, it was always just the same theme, the same graphic overlays, all that stuff. But it does look like they've gone with a very strong lineup. Pedro Porro, Mickey van der Ven starts as a centre-back. Thomas Frank, he's come up with a great idea. Let's play the centre-back in his actual position. Madison, Kulusevski, and Bentancur. This is very reminiscent of an Ange Postecoglou sort of lineup, by the way. Very attacking. 2 number 10s in the midfield. Thomas Frank has not come to park the bus. He's come to press high, win the ball back, and orchestrate and construct the different zones of play here and try and run the game. But we've got a trick up our sleeve, and that is we've changed the tactics. Has he prepared for that? We'll find out. Put that ball back into Ahmad, who's chested it down, and Romero is trailing him like crazy. Xerxes lays it off into Bruno. Bruno lays it back off into Casemiro. Oh, and Xerxes got away from his man. Oh my goodness me, early doors, 10 minutes in, we've controlled the approach. We've controlled the approach. We just haven't controlled the ball into the back of the net. And now I'm saying, come inside. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm saying this stuff, but it's fun. There we go. Dorgu overlap. Dorgu, I think he's still onside. Dorgu's popped. Oh, he's popped off a shot. And Vicario has been forced into a great save. Bruno Fernandes will not be taking this corner. Ahmad Diallo will be. Now, we have scored from one corner before. Oh, it was almost. Oh, it was a terrible recovery header. And as you can see, the wingers have swapped sides. Ahmad, he's been played in. Oh, into Dorgu. He slips it in, and Xerxes has fired the shot. Fired the shot? Yeah, he's fired the shot. He's fired the ball straight at the goalkeeper. Kobe, he's looking to pick up the man. I don't know why Casemiro is not in his position. But that will be half time. It's not a bad half. Few opportunities. Xerxes probably should have scored in the 10th minute. I haven't been too heartbroken with anybody's performances so far. Of course, it is snowing. And I think we've probably been just the better team. The possession stats don't really speak the full truth. Spurs have had more possession than us. Yes, we've had 45, they've had 55, but I still think our opportunities, our chances created, our ability to transition, our game plan as a whole is working a lot better. Spurs' defense, however, Van de Ven, Romero, Porro, Destiny Udogie, they've been very good. They've been class. They've been the standout features of Tottenham in this game. We've had 50 passes. They've had 64. Oh, passes attempted. Our pass accuracy is at 96. Theirs is at 92, so ours is slightly better. No tackles been put in here. We're two teams trying to stay on our feet, trying to keep our structures in place, trying to keep the composure in all areas on the pitch. Now, Matisse Tell, he could maybe come on and make a bit of a difference versus United. But as things stand right now, if we have a look at the team, nobody's really struggling for fitness. I mean, Ahmad, Mainu, Casemiro, and Martinez, those are probably the 4 players that might be coming off in the second half. I'm quite happy with how this formation has, and this setup has allowed us to play. We might be cooked, chat. We might be cooked. Kudus was charging down the right flank, and Spurs have got a corner. Maddison, he's whipped it in, and it's a horrendous effort from Romero. Almost goes for a throw-in, but luckily it's gone for a goal kick. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Bruno, he's found a great ball down the flank into Cunha, who's being closed down by Van de Ven. And Van de Ven can't get close to Cunha, and Cunha, for the second straight game, puts the ball in the back of the nets. He's running to the corner flag. He's saying, let's go. Oh my goodness me. He's got a vertical and a half on him. Van de Ven was looking to close him down at pace. Couldn't get close enough. Couldn't get touch tight. And we found the bottom corner. We angled it. Bottom corner things. And Cunha, he slips over. But that is a great finish. That is a superb finish. Yeah, he's got to try and damn near focus here. There we go. Ball into Kobe. Back into Xerxes. Back into Ahmad, who has slipped in. Oh my goodness gracious me. I do want to make some changes, but not just yet. I have a sneaking suspicion. Whipped in with some pace, and Romero has headed it straight at his own goal, and luckily the keeper has made the save. There we go. There we go. Keep the ball moving. Keep the ball moving. Van de Ven can't get close enough to Matheus Cunha, who drills it low and hard for a second on the day. He's sliding in the snow. It's been an outrageously good performance from our Brazilian magician. I'm going to rest Mbumo. I don't really need him. I really don't. And because we are playing a base double pivot, Casemiro and Ugarte can function together, but so can Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes. That's right, I'm doing it. Cheetah Obi, he's coming on. Xerxes dropping into the 10 position. And I'm also going to bring on Aiden Heaven for some minutes. We've made 4 changes there. I'm quite happy with that, to be fair. I'm happy to rest Delict. I don't want to give too many youngsters too many opportunities. Not like that, not too many opportunities, but I don't want to have Diego Leon and Heaven right next to each other. I don't want to have Diego Leon, Aiden Heaven, and Cheetah Obi all on the field, because there's still 20 minutes to go in this game. So bring on a bit of experience in Mazraoui, bring on Heaven for a bit of minutes before he heads out on loan. Cheetah Obi, he's going to get some minutes up front. And I am intrigued to see what potentially Xerxes can do in this number 10 position. Because if he does well, I mean, he did say he's a 9.5. If he does well, we might convert him into a 10, and we might look for another striker. Not in January, but maybe in the summer. Oh, we've lost the ball. We've lost the ball. Oh, no. Matisse Tell, he's done it again in the span of a few days versus United. This is where the young players gain that experience, and this is exactly why I brought Mazraoui over Diego Leon, because you are crazy if you think, oh, there we go, little ball over the top, back in there, young player, Cheetah Obi, oh my god, that is beautiful, that is outrageous, Cheetah Obi, you absolute gem. He is going to do so well in this career mode. I know he's going out on loan for like 2 years, but he has killed Spurs' title hopes. When I mean title hopes, I mean trophy hopes. That is outrageous. That is brilliant link-up play. Cunha into Xerxes. I can't even remember it was Mazraoui into Cheetah Obi, and he just plants it. Bang. Bang, bang, and bang. I can't even remember what I was saying. He stunned me. Vicario at 6s and 7s. Cheeto Obi with his first goal for the club. Injected Spurs tears. And that is the full time. 3-1 to United. And we progress on to the semi-finals. We'll find out soon enough who we play in the semi-finals. Or maybe I'll leave that for next... you know what? I'm going to leave that for next episode. That way, if you're enjoying this episode, don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. But you'll then have to come back to see who we face in the semi-finals of the League Cup. Could this be our first trophy of the career mode? That would be great. Bit of an appetizer, you might say. But I'm not trying to count my chickens before they hatch. Right now, we've beaten Spurs 3-1. And now we move on to a very big away game versus Villa. Okay. Chairman interference. The chairman has expressed dissatisfaction. Firstly, are we run by Sir Jim or by the flippin' Glazers? Oh, is Ed Woodward back in town or something? Because I was so sure Jason Wilcox, Omar Barada, and so on, they were running things and they were helping me help them and we were winning games. They want me to implement a different tactical vision. Now, a wise man once said, "Not even the Pope will make me change my approach." So to the chairman, you're going to have to fire me, mates. Now, I'm going to say I understand, but you best believe I'm not changing. Keeping the chairman happy is never a bad thing in football, but sacrificing your tactical vision depends on what type of manager you want to be. I'm a man of morals, I'm a man of principles, and not even the Pope's going to change that. Now, in terms of the tactical analysis, from trying to change my tactical analysis to what is working out for 8th place, Aston Villa. Of course, they are going to be at home. There's a few key players we need to keep an eye out for, but they will also be playing a 4-2-3-1, so we're going to match up quite well with it. Now, in their last 5 games, very mixed bag. A draw, a win, a loss, a win, a loss. Another loss coming on the way. Don't you worry. Tyrone Mings is slow as hell. I can't actually, just zooming out a little bit here. Tyrone Mings is a good defender, but Tyrone Mings in this game has got like 35 pace. I think Harry Maguire is faster than Tyrone Mings. That is disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Now, in terms of their approach, they're going to be using wing play. So they're going to look to work the ball down the flanks, overload the wide sections, maybe some fullback play. Of course, you know that Matty Cash does get forward, but we also know that Matty Cash is involved in the build-up structure, that back three sort of system that we have seen with Unai Emery and Aston Villa of late. But we also know Lucas Digne, or Luca Digne. Is it Luca Digne? It's Lucas Digne, isn't it? Digne, regardless, great attacking fullback, not a great defensive fullback, however. So we might be able to try and manipulate that space. Their wingers are obviously very good. They've got McGinn, they've got Jadon Sancho, who's on loan. I don't know if he's going to play versus us, but they do have them at their disposal. But most importantly, the number 10, Morgan friggin' Rogers. Now, I don't know if he's going to be playing because Tielemans, if I'm not mistaken, Tielemans was starting in the 10. Tielemans was starting in the 10 and Morgan Rogers was starting as the left winger. Very, very interesting. That's one way of shoehorning in your best players. But Tielemans and McGinn are the 2 key attackers, and I'd probably throw in Morgan Rogers. The key defensive players are Onana, Mings, and Konsa. Very, very tasty. Heading into this game, we've got quite a few players who are not fully fit. Of course, Bruno Fernandes is always fit. Mainu, I'm gonna go with Mainu to start ahead of Casemiro. Ugarte is going to come in. We're going to put Yoro in for Martinez, which is not a bad switch up if you ask me. And Mateus Cunha, who did very, very well, is going to continue to play on that left-hand side. Xerxes is absolutely shattered, so Obi's coming onto the pitch, and he's going to be, not on the pitch, on the bench, and he's going to be a potential impact player. I'm really happy that he scored, because it's a bit of goodwill before he does leave, and it puts the faith in him that we trust him to develop and grow and be a much better player in the future. Now, in terms of the tactics and the approach, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to leave it as is. We're going to have a versatile poacher for this game. Of course, the last game we played with an attacking false 9, which was quite nice to say the very least. But we're going to leave it as is. We're going to see this formation, this new tactical approach in full effect. And I'm hoping we get a win at Villa Park. It's a late kickoff under the floodlights. The fans are up for it, and it immediately looks like Morgan Rogers is starting in the number 10 position. And they're working it very nicely. Big ball into the box. Matthijs de Ligt is there. Keep the structure, keep the shape, keep it tight at the back, please, gents. Now they've lost it. Brian Mbeumo straight through the middle Squares it into Sesko, and Sesko, he's going to, calm as you like, put it past the goalkeeper. Debo Martinez, Debu, I don't care. Hold that, mates. Good cross into the box. McGinn's there. He's controlled it nicely. Edge of the area. Oh. Look at that. Dorgu's defending really well there. Oh, Sherbet. Oh my god, great save from Lemons. And right now we are being dominated, absolutely peppered. Oh no. No. Delict again at the scene of the crime. Let's take a look at this POV. Okay, they didn't show the crime scene. But that was Delict's fault. He let the player get straight past him. He didn't put in a challenge to try and stop it. Okay, so at half-time, our midfield is absolutely on its arse. This is exactly why we are looking to bring in more midfielders, because Kobbie Mainoo cannot do that role consistently, which is really shit, because I really like Kobbie, but his stamina is absolutely terrible. I don't even know why. I mean, look, there's all those things where Kobbie Mainoo's not super fit, this and the other. But Kobbie Mainoo can definitely last more than 45 minutes. But anyway, he's going to come off because he hasn't been that great. I'm going to have to do this again. Delict was at fault for that first goal. Well, the only goal. And that just wasn't great. And Boomer's got an assist. Sesko's got himself a goal. Cunha and Bruno, they've got to step up a bit more. I'm gonna keep one of these players in the wings, excuse the pun, and have them ready and waiting to come on. Maybe for an Ugarte, and then put Bruno slightly deeper. That could be an option. But for the time being, we're gonna make that change, or those two changes, Casemiro and Harry Maguire, both coming on. A bit of experience in the team. I'm going to leave, by the way, Maguire as a defensive ball-playing defender. That's great. And Casemiro as a deep-lying, roaming playmaker. Little bit of a pinging of the passes for Uncas, you know. Uncas got it. He's still got it, guys. He's still got it. Oh my god. Oh my god, Lemons! Oh, Lemons, you absolute king! Heart in mouth sort of moments. I don't even know how that situation transpired. Oh, captain on captain violence, you know. It's around the 85th minute. I don't even know if these changes are going to commence, but I'm going to drop Bruno slightly deeper. I'm bringing on Mason Mount, but I'm also bringing on Amad Diallo. Do I make that other change? I'm going to make that other change as well. People are saying bring on Obi. I'm saying this is a tight game, and we can't afford a potential mistake from a young teenager. That would ruin his development. It would ruin his confidence. He's just scored a great goal versus Spurs. This is a tight fixture. We can't afford to have him come on and potentially make a mistake or miss a goal or something like that. And besides, Sesko is doing okay for fitness. Casemiro, however, come on at halftime, and you can see why we're bringing in another midfielder. That's all I'm going to say. But hopefully these subs can commence fairly soon, although the ball is still in play. Maybe foul him? Okay, well, we have fouled him. Now, I just hope the referee doesn't give me a red card. Because if he does, real tears will... Okay, it was only a yellow. It was only a yellow, and he's coming off anyways. Del Warrigasande, or however the hell you pronounce his name. I had to do that. 1, to stop the fast break. 2, to bring on my subs, which they're all coming on now. And maybe, just maybe, in the dying embers of this game, we might be able to find ourselves with a little bit of a winner. That would be it. That would be great. Imagine. Could you imagine the scenes? Do you know what I've just realized, people? Obviously, AFCON doesn't exist in this game. But I've just realized the Bournemouth and Tottenham game, I think, those games are the games that both Ahmad and Mbumo and Mazraoui would have maybe been available for. But they wouldn't have been fully available. It depends on if the countries were willing to let them play or not. And I've just realized I've been playing these players and they should be at AFCON. Now, I may have made a bit of a boo-boo there. So obviously, we have players away at AFCON. We were able to communicate with Ivory Coast, with Cameroon, as well as Morocco to try and get the players for these last few games that we've been able to play them in. Both Bournemouth, Tottenham, and of course, the last game, Aston Villa, where we ended up dropping points as well. I didn't even elaborate on that. Those 3 players are now not available. Not available until the end of, potentially the end of January. And that is going to be a hard knock for us to try and deal with. But we do have some players, like a Mason Mount, like a potential Aiden Heaven, that can come in and do a very good job for those missing players. So those are going to be the changes that we will be seeing over these next few games. And of course, we're going to try and see what we can do in the January transfer window. The way that Newcastle United set up a 4-3-3, that's very much an Eddie Howe sort of approach. He's more or less implemented that from day dot of him getting the job. In the last 5 games, 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. The key players to watch out for are definitely going to be Bruno G and Anthony Gordon. They've got the pace, they've got the skill set, but also Voltemada as the striker. He's going to be linking up the play and being a nuisance. Defensively, Joelinton, Tonali, and Bruno G are the key defensive players. Okay, well, you know what? We'll go with that. They are going to be deploying a counter-attack sort of system. It is at Old Trafford, so of course they're going to look to sit back a bit more. They're going to look to be very physical. Joelinton in particular, very physical units. He's going to be putting in tackles, challenges, left, right, and center. Now, Xerxes has said he wants to start more games. He wants to play more games, and he wants to have the game versus Newcastle to prove himself. And I'm going to think about it, especially with Mbumo and Ahmad both missing. We might be able to use him. Now, obviously, if we just zoom out a little bit from the storyline, these players are not actually missing. There's no AFCON in FC. But for the storyline, we're gonna have to make do. We're gonna have to make do with what we've got. And right now, it's not looking good. What I'm thinking is actually we play Bruno out wide. We put Xerxes over there. We have Cheeto Obi on the bench, and that might be okay. That might be okay. This just shows how threadbare the squad actually is, by the way. I'm also going to be putting in Diego Dallo. Diego Dallo on that left-hand side. I need my best defenders. And overall wise, and I mean, even this season, Dallo has been very, very good for me. So I can't fault him there. Sesko's a poacher, that's fine. Xerxes is a roaming playmaker, that's fine. I'm actually okay with all of these roles for these players. I mean, Xerxes as a roaming playmaker just makes a lot of sense to me. Having him in those pockets of space, linking up the play, little flicks, little around the corner, no-look passes. It's going to be good. I mean, I am a bit concerned about the pace. Bruno down the right-hand side is a bit worrying. And I'm hoping that Kobe Mainu, now that he's fully fit, he's had some time to rest, he can last more than just one half, because that is disgusting. Here we go, kicking things off. We're deploying a 2-striker tandem up front, basically, at this point. I'd said in the last episode when we played it versus Everton, was it like a 4-4-2? It doesn't suit United. Well, we're kind of playing a 4-4-2 now, if you look at it. More like a 4-2-2, you could say. They've worked the ball well, but Lissandro Martinez is there, and Lamens makes a great save. Lamens has made 4 or 5, maybe even 6 incredible saves this episode. That one at Villa Park to spare our blushes. We could have lost that game 2-1. Bro made like clawing ball recoveries just to try and get the ball back. Oh, well done. Matthias Select for the first time in this episode has been useful. Kobe Manu, he slips in Sesko. Sesko presses it low and hard around the keeper. 1-0 to United. You can see at home we have established a strong connection with the fans. The fortress, Old Trafford, it's booming again. Obviously we did drop points to Wolves to start off the episode, but nonetheless, it's fine. It's alright. It's okay. Oh my god, Jolinton has absolutely committed a crime on the pitch in front of 75,000 fans. Driving up the pitch with the ball. He's looking for the ball into Sesko. Sesko holds up the play nicely. Back into Bruno. Bruno's going to look for the return ball. Squares it, but Sven Botman gets there just in time. Now, we don't actually have an Ahmad or an Mbumo to take this. Now, I don't really like Bruno taking these out-swinging corners, but I'm going to have to bear with him for the time being. It's in the air. Kobe's tried to win the header, and Jolinton, yet again, has cleared the ball. There we go. That's what we want. That's more of what we want. Squares it there. Bruno Fernandes. Oh my god. He absolutely thunder rockets it. like into the roof of the net. 2-0 up. 2-0 up. And things are looking peachy right now. Our captain, he embumos. No, he doesn't embumo. He matetas and booms the flippin' corner flag. And I really hate that the replays. I hate that the replays are so shit. Back into Lamens. Lamens is going to rotate the ball into Mazraoui. Oh, Mazraoui's playing. I forgot to take out Mazraoui. I completely forgot to take out Mazraoui. Oh my god. Guys, crazy. The craziest turn of events has just happened. The Moroccan FA have come and said, we want Mazraoui in the team. Hakimi is injured. We absolutely desperately need him. He's coming off the pitch at 33 minutes. Not because he's been bad, but because he's getting on a plane and flying to Morocco. I'm pretty sure Morocco's hosting AFCON. I'm pretty sure. And he's flying to Morocco to go compete in the tournaments. That is real commitments. You know what? I can't fault his commitments to the club. He's been brilliant. And we're just going to run the ball out of play just to get Mazraoui off the field. He's been absolutely incredible. He's leaving the stadium. I've given him permission. We tried to work out just an extra game for the Moroccan star, but it just didn't work out. We only were able to work out a 42-minute bit of a speed gap for him. But what do you know? It's 2-0 to United. Bruno Fernandes with a goal. Was it Sesko with the other goal? I think it was. And it's a slow day in the office for Anthony Gordon. You love to see it. As things stand at halftime, we've had 2 shots. They've had 1 shot. It was a great save from Lamens. I've just hit my mic. Apologies. Great save from Lamens. Great 2 goals taken from United. 2 tackles each. 86% pass accuracy. Not the greatest. It does need to improve. They've had a lot of passes attempted, though. That is one thing that definitely the sliders have improved, as well as, obviously, FC26 updating and also improving on their side of things. But possession, so far, so good. I would say we've definitely been the better team. They've just had the ball a little bit more. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's the Matthias select that we need. Good ball over the top into Sesko. Sesko toe pokes it home for his 2nd on the day and our 3rd in the game, and it's not even 60 minutes and we're 3-0 up. Beautiful. Eddie Howe, Jason Tyndall. Oh, that's Bruno. He's gone for the pass over the top. Oh, that would have been amazing. That would have been absolutely incredible. They're making subs now. Jacob Murphy off for who knows who. Ilanga's coming on. 55 million flop that nobody's talking about. He's like 0030 at this point. And we're going to make a few changes. The first change being Ugarte. He's coming on for Casemiro. That makes a complete... Well, that just makes sense. Cunha's coming off, and we are going... No, there's no real players. One thing I will say, Kobe Mainu, he's lasted the entirety of this game, which is great. I'm going to... Oh, you know what we could do? I'm going to take off Xerxes. Puts Dorgu in that position. It's wild. I know it's wild, it's outrageous. Heaven's going to come on, and that will be the changes that get made. Dorgu kind of out of position. Maybe we can put Dallo there? Nope, Dallo doesn't work there either. It's fine. It's fine. We'll kind of go to the like a sort of a back 5 if you really want to look at it like that. But those are going to be the changes that we do make. In terms of the tactical approach, Dorgu, can we shift him to something else maybe? Shadow striker, half wing, it just makes sense. A balanced half wing at this point. As for Heaven, he's going to be reverted back into a defensive fullback, and Dallo is going to have a bit more attacking freedom going forward. An attacking wingback on attack. Nice and high. He's going to combine with Bruno. That's quite nice. Mason Mount. You know what, actually? Put Mason Mount over there. Play Bruno in his actual number 10 position. That's fine. That's great. And we're happy. We're good. We're looking like we're adjusting to the system. We're obviously missing a bunch of key players, but it's fine. It's fine. I mean, we're fine. We're doing well. This is the last game of the episode. Smash the like button, please. And let's collect these 3 points. There we go. Into my boy Mason. Mason Money Mount off the post, off the goalkeeper's glove as well. And it's into the back of the net. 4-0. I'm not going to lie, guys. I do like beating Newcastle United. Who's the real United? Well, look at the score line. It'll tell you all the details you need to ever know. Oh, they've gone for the little around the corner ball. And to be fair, by the way, half my players are missing because of AFCON. Why has Visa been selected to play? Where's Voltemada? Visa Did he get away because he was... Maybe they got away with sending him to DR Congo because obviously he's been injured. So maybe he missed the start of the tournament and he was just able to then play for Newcastle, which is a bit weird considering he is like their star player. Uh-oh. Visa. He gets smothered. He gets absolutely smothered by the baby Courtois and is out for a corner kick. And honestly, I love Lamens. I think Lamens is outrageously good. The only thing I wish that was different about Lamens in this game, at least, nothing in real life. In this game, I wish he had a real face. He deserves to have a real face. Oh, great ball. Bruno, you should have continued your run, mate. Should have continued your run. Little ball into Mason Mount. Mason Mount, little return ball into Benjamin Sesko, and he struck that with pure venom and hatred. Back into Mount. Mount, he's looking for the cross into the box, back post, and oh, Aiden Heaven was there, but just not to be. Anyways, the game ends 4-0, absolutely battered, bruised, and get the hell out of town, get the hell out of Dodge, and head up the, what, is it the M6? Head up back to Newcastle? I don't know the roads in England. Pointers, Sesko with the brace. We got a few goals from the team. Mazraoui played for 45 minutes and then he had to go to the AFCON competition, which is a bit of a mistake on my behalf. I do apologize profusely, but a 4-0 win to end off the episode. Rightio, now I do know that we have Wolves next. Don't you worry about me, because I know what's happening here. But I just wanted to show you guys the league standings, the league table, the standings in the league table. There we go. We've played 18, we've won 16, and we've drawn twice. I remember in the beginning of this episode when we initially drew with West Ham, I said, oh, that's the first time we've dropped points. No, we dropped points on opening day to the mighty arse, and we drew, what was it, like 1-1 or 2-2? But nonetheless, we have 50 points, and in second place is Arsenal, who are on 40 points. And then third place, 6 points behind them, is Spurs. As well as Liverpool. As well as Newcastle, who have just lost. They were definitely gunning for those 3 points. So they are looking to try and push for Champions League positions, maybe Europa League positions, depending on how the coefficient stands at the end of the season, I suppose. Oh, there we go, I'm scrolling down. Now, if we have a look at who's in the danger zone, Everton sitting rock friggin' bottom. Jimmy Garner, I'm going to rescue you. Sunderland as well in the relegation zone. Fulham as well. They, however, them and Sunderland, to be fair, are a single win away from escaping the relegation zone and sucking in a Burnley or a Brentford or maybe even a West Ham. That point that West Ham got at Old Trafford is probably going to go down as a very important point come the end of the season. And let's be honest as well, Brighton are very much involved in what could potentially be a relegation zone. I would say Wolves are fine, Leeds are fine, Bournemouth fine, or fine for now at least. Okay, so Xerxes has come back and he said, I'm really happy that you picked me. Don't worry, sir, you're going to get a lot more games. Don't you damn well worry. And Harry Maguire, who obviously his contract is set to expire come the end of the season, he's been asking for more game time, but I'm not prepared to give him more game time over the likes of a Lenny Yoro, a Matthias Select, Lissandro Martinez, who's also just come back. And because of that, he doesn't want to open negotiations with a contract extension, which does mean I might have to replace Big H, which is very sad because I'd like to keep him. He's a 4th choice / 5th choice option. He's an experienced head in the dressing room. Everybody loves him. I love him, but it might just be that he does look to go somewhere else and play more games. And of course, that does make a lot of sense. But for the time being, he is asking for more games, but I just can't give it to him. Back with Wolves, obviously we beat them 2-0 at OT. It was great. They're 13th in the Premier League. They're actually a decent side. I actually thought they might be a bit lower, but we do know they're going to be playing a 5-2-3. Strand Larson is one of their key danger men, but so is John Arias as well as He-Chan. Their key defensive players, still Jose Sarr, somehow, some way. I'm not going to try and pronounce their right back's name, and there's also Krejci. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name, who is also a midfielder that can step into the back line. So if he's playing as a centre back, which he is, good ball playing centre back, I'm not going to lie. In their last 5 games, they've lost 3 of them, drawn 1, and won just once. Gomez is on the bench, one to watch out for. Andre is starting with Manetzi, also a decent pairing, but not too bad at all. Okay, people, so that will be the lineup we go with. I know Mainu is just slightly under the weather when it comes to his stamina, and so is Casemiro, but they will be starting. It's the same lineup that I'm running with that we won, obviously, with the 4-0 win versus Newcastle. Dalot starts, obviously, over Mazraoui. He was supposed to start in the last game, but we kind of managed to delay the plane for Mazraoui to depart to go to Morocco. We're going to sim. Hopefully we win. We win 2-1. A Martinez 87th minute winner. Inject it. It's beautiful settings. They scored first. Andre scored. Cunha, back at the Molineux, got on the score sheet against his former side. I don't think he celebrated. Xerxes got booked. We were fighting, we were scrapping, we were clawing. Dorgu came off, Malacia came on, Ugarte came on for Casemiro. We ended up getting the winner in the 87th minute. Thanks to our short king, Lissandro Martinez, who has been a breath of fresh air since coming back from injury. And he's really been able to platform and establish himself in the side. So there we go, people. That is the end of, I think this is episode number 5 of the Manchester United Tactical Career Mode. I do hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you don't mind, smashing that like button down below, as well as subscribing to the channel if you are new and you like the content on it. These are the 2 transfers that we are going to try and gun for in the January window. Whether the clubs accept it or not, it remains to be seen, but we're going to try and go for them. They do change up the tactical approach, so Oosterwolde will not be playing the same role, you could say, or a similar role, you could say, to the likes of a Patrick Dorgu. The likes of Jimmy Garner, if he starts next to Menu, he won't be playing as a holding, ball-winning midfielder. He's going to obviously change up our tactical approach, but they do fit into a 4-2-3-1, which is great. It makes a lot of sense. These are the guys. Anyways, until the next time, until the next one, which will be next week, because I'm going to try my very best to make sure that I get these episodes out. I hope you guys have a smashing goddamn day, and I hope you guys are enjoying the career mode. Anyways, peace! We'll be right back.